We're back at the unit with this collection of items. A full 100% dirt jump bike build is going to go down in here. My last video was in this unit, basically a full garage tour of everything in here. So if you missed that, check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. But today we're going to be building my new Marin Alcatraz dirt jump bike. I've got new sponsors this year, I've got new projects planned, and I need a tip-top 100% fresh jump bike for it, because these bikes take a hammering on big filming projects, because doing new tricks, I crash a lot. So this is the frame, the Marin Alcatraz. I designed this myself. It's extremely short, it's extremely light, it's extremely good looking. This bike I want to be as light as possible. I think it could be the lightest bike I've ever run, using new tyres, tie bolts. I'm aiming for something in the region of 10 kilos, and this bike stand has a little weighing scale on it when I rotate that. So we'll hang the bike on there when I'm done. Also, the time is 11:15. Let's get this bike built for midnight. I mean, that's not a goal, that's just, let's go to bed. Dirt jump bikes are the easiest bikes to build. There's no internal cable routing. There's one brake, there's no gears to set up. So I'd usually start with the forks, and I am going to start with the forks. Yeah, I am. It needs a headset, so these are the forks. As you can see, unbranded, they don't have any stickers on. Any mountain bike fans watching will know that these are Fox 36 831 jump forks for a 26-inch wheel. 100mm travel, they're very light, they're very stiff. I'm not sponsored by Fox. I don't actually have a suspension sponsor, but I'm working more and more than ever with Brink Bike Shop and Plush Suspension, and therefore I took the stickers off because I've actually got different forks on all the bikes up there. Push, Ohlins, so these actually look sick in black. I think they look better than the orange ones. So I need to put a crown race on first, then the lower bearing with some grease. This steerer tube's already cut down, which is going to help towards the midnight finish. Work smarter, not harder. And I've got a cheeky dyed bro kit, which we'll look at later. So this, although the frame colour is the same as my last one, lots of things are different. Forks, logos, stickers, and the whole frame's going to basically get a tattoo. So it's going to look way more different than you might think. Oh my god, has the frame got a cup in already? Yes! Result. And it's got a top one in. We definitely might be getting done probably before midnight. Black looks good. Let's get some stem spacers and the stem on. Oh, I've even got a drawer for stem spacers. I'm so pumped on having a workshop. So pumped. Probably got 25, even 30mm of spacers there, because I run quite a low rise bar. This is the bar stem combo I'm going to be going for. Gusset S2 bars and Gusset S2 stem. It's a very, very wide clamp on both. That makes them stiffer. Stiffness is very good on bikes, especially dirt jump bikes. When the game is carrying speed, landing tricks on big jumps. They look cool. They're just stealth, they're black. In order to tilt this bike back down, I'm going to put the stem on to secure all of that. It's a very nice looking stem, that.
Very nice.
So we've got a stem, we haven't got a full bike. Let's do the bottom bracket. This is threaded one, so I just need the tool. I know that I run one spacer on the drive side. That is the dream, man, getting a tool from where you know it lives and not out of like a shoebox. Just look at that pillar drill and offhand bench grinder staring at me saying, will I ever be used? I think we should do some tinkering in here in the near future. We've got a mini bike that needs upgrading. Bottom brackets in, cranks can go on. So these are just, they're not relics, they're amazing cranks, they're carbon fibre. I've run these on a lot of bikes. They're Raceface 6C cranks. Rubber mallet for this. Oh. Uh-oh, there goes my spacer. Back in its position. The most important thing about having tools on a wall is that you put them back. If you don't put your tools back on the wall, before you know it, they won't be on the wall anymore. Argue with that, tell me that's incorrect.
No, it's factual information.
It's definitely a fact. So, my chainring, that's not actually round, that's an oval chainring. It actually works on a single speed bike, so there's no derailleur, there's nothing to make the chain get shorter or longer when I pedal. I've got a single speed bike with just a chain that's tight. It goes around that and round a round rear driver, this one. So my chain is tight around both of those, completely single speed. And yet when that turns, the chain doesn't get slacker or longer, which is insane. The reason I've got it on this bike is when you start riding oval rings, you'll find that round rings feel weird and they actually feel like they suck. So I need to run it on all my bikes. They look the business. So there's a little dot on this, which is there, that has to line up with the crank. So that is going to live there. Nice snug fit. That goes on with a little lock ring. That's going to go on there. Oh, blue looks nice. I always use a piece of tyre for this. This is a massive dirt jump slopestyle hack. So that goes over there. That goes on the end. As you do this up, you pinch the tyre. It creates a lot of friction. It means that when I try and spin the cranks, they don't spin. We're at 7 minutes past 11. Can we finish a bike in 53 minutes? A dirt jump bike. If this was an enduro bike, I'd say can we finish it before the weekend? And it's Tuesday. Back wheel. It's got a, yeah, let's do back wheel and chain. Then we've got a good bit of bike. By the way, that chain link's 32 teeth and this is 13, which gives me a 0.4 as a mechanical advantage. This is a 26-inch Halo Chaos wheel. Oh, and one thing I'm gonna do is swap the stickers out to match. So I've got orange stickers for the front wheel. No, I chose wrong. I don't have orange forks anymore.
Oh, mate.
This needs a rethink. I might just go blue all over. No, I'll go pink at the front, blue at the back. One way to keep the weight down is these puppies. They're the 8mm bolts that go in there. They're completely titanium and they're literally half the weight. One important factor of weight saving is where you're saving the weight. You can save it on the outside of your wheels. I know this isn't, but that's worth a lot more than static weight, like around the bottom bracket or something. Spinning mass has a bigger impact on you when you're moving than static mass. That can go on the bike, but let's do the tyres. So, 2020, new year, few new sponsors, one of which I'm very excited to tell you. It's Continental rubber, Continental tyres. The Germans do know how to make good tyres. This is no exception. This is going to be the fastest dirt jump tyre I've ever run. It's the Speed King, 2.2 inches wide. It's going to be very narrow on the rear, but that's going to allow me to run the wheel closer to the frame and shorten the wheelbase, which you'll see. So, this tyre, feel how light that tyre is.
Whoa!
It's actually surprised me as
That's
I've done
crazy.
it. Yeah, I think this bike could be close to 10 kilos. In order to do that, I'm going tubeless, again to save weight, and B, to prevent blowouts. A tubeless setup won't explode. You won't go from 80 psi to 0. It'll just burp. You go from 80 psi to 45 or 50. And with 45 or 50 psi, you can still finish a competition run. But with 0, you can't. So I've got these cool tubeless valves, muck-off ones. So they're pink, which matches the frame. I used to really resent tubeless conversions, and now if you're building a fresh bike and you can do it from the get-go, it's a nice thing to do, knowing what it's there for, stopping punctures. It comes with that is a valve core removing tool. It's going to come in handy in a moment. So I'm going to put the tyre on all the way around. Oh, this is good rubber. I actually visited the Continental factory last month in Germany, watching how the tyres get made. It's incredible. Now, that's Muck-Off's tubeless sealant. It's got a gauge on there, and I'm going to put about 60 millilitres in each tyre. Check the gauge. Okay, that's in. Spin it back round the right way up. Valve core back in. That's the nice stuff about all the Muck-Off bits. If you buy it together, you've got all the tools, like the sealant's designed for these valves, the valve core remover tool, which is there. So that doubles up as a valve cap. You can screw it on that way. Pretty cool. Right, that's ready to be inflated. I'm going to attempt to use the compressor. Yes. No, that shot on! Whoa! That absolutely shot on! Okay. Right, that compressor's loud. You can see why. It goes 0 to 80 psi in no time.
Good looking tyre. Oh,
Constantly. Oh, thank you.
sorry.
I just want to see how close I can get it to the frame if it's slammed. Yes, that's what we're after.
Oh my, wow.
I'll run it so light can only just pass through. Because that makes my bike shorter. And then I can spin harder off little jumps, or do more spins off big jumps. I need to add a disc rotor, which is there. That's going to slot on here. And to save time and a little bit of weight, I'm only running 4 rotor bolts. T25 little torque key tool. This tyre looks sick, doesn't it?
Looks so good.
Ah, I forgot I was going to put a torque key on my drill. I watched a World Cup mechanic once putting on a rotor with a drill. It looked like the dream. Because every time you slip off one of the bolts, you punch a disc rotor, and then you are so ready to burn the place down. It's like the worst pain ever imaginable. This is when a bike starts to look like a bike, when the back wheel goes in and the forks are on. We're doing good, but are we doing good? We've got less than half an hour to finish a bike. Let's put the chain on. This chain's already the right size. We've got a chain. We've got a bike removing parts. Loads of people, by the way, if you ride BMX, dirt jump bikes, single speed bikes, put like a block between the frame and the tyre to wedge it back.
I used to do that.
Okay, it's me too. And then Guy Ison, who builds all these Halo wheels by hand, Maz, he said walk it back. So you push it one way, push it to get the chain tight, so it's super out of line. Then I can tighten this bolt. Then I can push it back the other way so it's centered, because this side doesn't matter. There's only a chain on one side. So get the chain side tight, and then straighten it, and it's there. Don't need a block. Like, walk it back into position. That appeals to about 1% of the people watching probably, but cumulatively over your life could save you enough time to make those fried eggs into poached eggs in the morning. Look at that oval ring at work. I could put the bars in, but we're going to do this properly. We're going to cut them down. There's the bars. They've got thing on the end, so 10mm, 20mm, 30mm. These come at 800, and I'm going to cut them down to 740. 30mm off each end. That's easy. I'm lining up the blade with the 30mm marker, and then this cuts.
Are you joking?
Just by spinning it around. Look, it's already scored it. Can you see? So all I have to do is keep spinning that round. Pipe cutters are the dream.
Oh.
That's a 30mm bit of handlebar. I wonder if people like the in-depth bike builds, or if it's too much information. You may as well offer information, otherwise you'd just watch a time lapse, wouldn't you? I can't wait for this bike. Also can't wait to weigh it, but most of all, can't wait to get into bed before midnight. Okay, they're cut down. Let's get in the stem. Gusset top cap and a titanium purple headset bolt, top cap bolt, whatever you want to call it.
Funny how you have this exact same bike already built on the wall behind you.
That one?
Yeah.
Ah, now, that's where you're wrong. That's actually a kid's version, a 16-inch.
Oh my god.
A lot of people make that mistake. It looks so similar.
Yeah.
I am going to put the brake on. So I run the back brake on the right hand side on my jump bikes. But I've just fitted the brake mount, like the caliper mount, on that custom trail bike behind you. I quit calling it the custom trail bike, but it is super custom. I bought Hope brakes from Brink, which feel great, like they're sick brakes. But on a dirt jump bike, I am worried about power. Power's not the biggest thing though. The most important thing is actually the shape of the lever. And this is one of my old brakes where, see how that's really flush across there? It means that if I catch a bar spin like this, it doesn't stab my hand or cause permanent lifelong injury or hand paralysis. Actually, that brake would. Like if you grabbed that, you'd never take your hands off again. Little blue tie bolts for the caliper. Mr. Ben,
Yes?
would you be willing to pull that brake lever to centre this caliper, please?
Of course.
Before I tighten them. Nicely done. There we go. Oh, well done that man.
Hey.
Thank you. Tubeless valve, same again. This tyre is a Race King. It's like a knobbly version of the rear. So I'm going to have speed at the rear and grip for the front end. Oh, they sound nuts. Oh, sorry mate,
Whoa.
I'll do it once more. Boy hub, the Halo Y boy hub has no disc mounts on either side. It means you don't have to worry about the direction of your tyre, because either way you can flip the wheel. Comes with 15mm cup converters, so by me putting that in there, I'm making it fit a 15mm fork axle. Literally plug and play. Now that can go on the bike, we'll check the time. I'm really worried, I think we're going to fail. We're definitely going to fail if it comes to putting the Dydro kit on and customising the whole frame. I am pumped with black forks. Oh my god, we've got 4 minutes. Grips. I'm getting it now. I have to anyway, because this seat post needs cutting down. I feel in such a rush, even though it's now nearly impossible. Okay, there's one. Good old long necks. Right, just a seat post. Right, it's happening. I'm unboxing the grinder. 1050 watt Silverline angle grinder. Cut this seat post down in a mad rage and rush. Right, measure up. Make sure it's below that weld there, so I'm gonna go cut it there. I'm just gonna grab some goggles. Yes. Now I can use the grinder. So there's no slit in the top of the Gusset S2 saddle. It's all done from underneath, through the seat post, which is very cool. It leaves you with a very clean looking saddle. There's been a bit of a jump because the battery died. Yes, that is cool. While the battery's dead, first thing that's happened, I'm sure you're clear on this, it's gone past midnight. So it's actually been over an hour. It's now the next day. We've blown it. But I've added the saddle, seat post, pedals, cable ties, Brink Apex stickers on the forks, which actually look very, very sick. Arguably better than all black. For the Imperial viewer, we are at 21.95 pounds. We're under 22 pounds, which means we are under 10 kilos by literally nothing. What, 9.95 kilos? 50 grams off. So if I add the Dybro kit, it goes over 10. Isn't that insane? Just out of principle, I want to leave it off. No, I've got to make new friends, I'm going to put it on. I'm so tired.
Same.
Literally. Why are we even putting this on? It's gonna look good, isn't it?
Yeah.
6.5 hours later.
Check that out. That's some serious business.
Cool.
It's so similar to the last Alcatraz I rode, but that changes everything. I think if I had an orange fork, the zebra dyed bro wouldn't work, but it works so well with a black fork. Ties it together so good. Back end looks wild. I'm very stoked. And that is no question of a doubt the lightest jump bike I've ever had. Under 10 kilos. Maybe with the bits of sticker we've left off, that probably makes it 10 kilos on the nose. Talking of on the nose, midnight on the nose went past 34 minutes ago. I'm up in 5 hours for a big day. I'm stoked I've got a bike for the job. Really stoked, in fact. This is serious. Just need to change the stickers on the rear rims. Shout out Halo for making very custom stickers so you can match your bike with your decals extremely well. I'm gonna go and match my face with the pillow. Ben, you should do the same. I do recommend it. I'm excited to ride it. Excited to learn some tricks. Peace out, guys. If you're watching this before bed, let's go to bed. Legends, bike build, 1 hour and a bit.